Call of Cthulhu is a horror role-playing game and may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
So last session, there was clear sabotage on the Gabrielle.
Yep.
A pipe in the refrigerated food storage was damaged on purpose and ruined a good portion of the food. You guys were investigating, trying to figure out who was most likely involved. You met with the quartermasters. You have an idea that the captain might be somehow involved.
That's another problem. If it's the captain that's involved, we can't. I mean, he's the captain. We're nobodies. Go on. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, so yeah, we're basically picking up right after there. What would you guys like to do?
What time of day is it? Are we in the lake still, or have we cleared the lock?
Oh no, you guys are in the Pacific. You're
Okay.
about maybe a day or two outside of Panama.
Okay, and we're steaming for where next?
Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, so we're crossing the Pacific.
You're
Okay.
going to be crossing. Yep, you're in that major crossing part, the largest crossing.
So the thing is, if you're going to sabotage a ship and you want to sink it, kind of bad for the saboteurs because they go down with it unless they have an escape plan.
What other vital roles are there on the ship?
But, okay, so here's the other thing. When you look at them, there really aren't any vital roles. I mean, they've got redundancy as crew and quartermasters. They've got triple redundancy in engineers, quadruple redundancy if you check the engineers' mates.
Wait, who would have access to the food area?
The quartermasters, the chefs, the stewards.
Yep.
I see a few possible options.
Storekeeper.
We got the cook. We got a couple of mess boys.
Yeah. We've got the quartermasters, the storekeeper.
Let's try interrogating the cook and the mess boys.
All right.
Okay. Wouldn't it be better, though, to simply find out who wasn't at their station when the refrigerant blew?
Or specifically who was at their station would also be a good one.
Well, technically, you guys did encounter the mess boy who discovered it, who alerted you.
Wait, who was the mess boy that alerted us?
Who was that? That was Philip Coates.
Okay.
He was the red-headed young mess boy who ran past you when you were down in the...
when you say mess boy, he's really a boy. He's like, what, 10, 11?
He's literally like a teenager, kind of a little bit older than Alva, but younger than Norman.
Okay.
It sounds like Norman and Philip could be best friends if he's not guilty.
Yeah, probably. Realistically, yes. You'd at least probably be school age in comparison, yeah.
Oh my god, what if they are schoolmates? You know, like Harry Potter and Ron?
That would be so embarrassingly funny. Hey, you'd get extra food out of it. I mean, with all the fresh food going bye-bye and us not restocking and crossing the Pacific, it's going to be very drab fare.
All right. Let's go talk with Philip Coates and see what his thoughts are on this.
Okay. We'll meanderingly make our way to the mess hall.
It would be unlikely for it to be the chef's steward, though, because why would they ruin the food?
because it would be a non-lethal way of delaying us even further. Because the assumption is that we wouldn't leave without the food. We'd restock in Panama, which would delay us another couple of days.
All right, let's.
As
see
opposed to
here.
like setting off an explosion and blowing a hole in the hull, which sinks the ship and everybody dies.
True.
Because I'm getting the feeling that whatever they're doing, they're not trying to destroy the ship. They're just trying to slow it down. To give Acacia Lexington even more of a head start.
All right, let me think here. All right, let's go talk with Philip Coates.
All right. Philip, you find in the mess hall, kind of just like organizing plates, silverware for the next round of meals. Not everybody dines at the same time, so they're always kind of working. The mess boys kind of switch off, and then you have the cook who prepares most of the meals.
Hey, Philip, can we speak with you for a moment?
Yeah. What's going
Hi,
on?
Philip.
Can you tell me everything you know about the day of the pipe incident?
Oh yeah. I walked in the hold and there was this terrible smell. I to the point where I started gagging. I couldn't even grab any of the food. I just ran. I think I told everyone I passed. I think I even told you guys
You did,
because it was
but
terrible.
but needless to say, we believe there's a saboteur on the ship.
His eyes kind of go wide. Saboteur. That makes. Why would somebody want to destroy all the food?
Well,
Do you
there
realize
is
what we have to
one.
eat now?
There is one possibility that whoever this person is, they possibly could be working for the other group of expeditionists.
Since Alva is standing behind and not doing the questioning, can I make a psychology roll to see if he's being evasive?
Yeah, sure.
Nope.
He looks a little nervous, but beyond that, you have no idea.
Yep. Okay.
What would my psychology be?
You're under the impression, based on his eye, he keeps darting eyes off to where the door leading into the kitchen itself is. Keeps tapping his foot nervously, shifting his weight back and forth. He is definitely hiding something.
Guess I'm gonna try hypnosis on him then.
Okay.
See if I can try to ease him into telling us what he knows.
All right.
Alright, hypnosis.
That's your hypnosis versus his POW and his POW versus your POW, or what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Art success.
Ooh.
No. He had a regular success.
Oh.
So you definitely have managed to feel into his thoughts.
What do I learn?
You learn that he thinks that he doesn't have proof, but he thinks that the cook is involved. And that they should turn back and get fresh food.
This is
Right.
going to be so the hunt for Red October. It's going to be the cook.
So, he suspects the cook.
But why does he suspect the cook? Can you ask him that? Why does he suspect the cook? Or, I mean, The cook's also his supervisor and his boss. And I imagine the cook doesn't treat these mess boys with the greatest degree of respect. So he might just not like him.
Dude, that could also be it. Let's go talk with the cook.
Is it just gonna be you two, or are you gonna like have Philip join you and lead you to the cook?
I'm gonna
I think the two of us can handle one cook.
I'm gonna ease Philip out of the hypnosis and,
Okay.
make sure he forgets that I made that attempt.
Yeah, he sort of blinks a lot, but then like, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys. But I don't know why we're still going to Australia. I don't know.
Well, it's all about beating the other expedition team.
Yeah, I know that's all Starkweather was talking about. Got to get down before Lexington. It gets stupid.
Yeah, that's our suspicions, is that whoever sabotaged the food might be working with Lexington.
Oh, really?
You think about it, that would make the most sense.
Oh. If that's what you say, yeah, I mean, sure.
Anyway, let's go speak with the cook.
All right, you go into the kitchen. The swinging door just sort of gives way to sort of clean counters. You pans of cooked food that is still kind of good. So it's only got maybe the slightest hint of yellow, but it definitely smells of ammonia in the kitchen.
I approach the cook and I say, "Seems you've fallen upon hard times."
The cook is sort of a big man, with like beard who it's grown a little bit and hasn't shaved probably since the Atlantic. He kind of he's like a little sweaty, not like his clothes are still clean, but overall you would get the impression that he's not like privately the most clean individual.
We wanted to talk to you about some questions we have about the incident.
You mean who ruined all my food?
Yeah, we are investigating as to who could have done that.
I could tell you who could have done that. Starkweather. It was all you expedition members. Somebody here is screwing with us. You brought us all nothing but bad luck.
Indeed,
We should
but
just turn around and go back where it's safe and we can get more food.
I'm making
Continue on this stupid expedition.
I'm making a psychology check on him.
I will as well. Well, I don't think I'm going to do better than that, but I will try. Yay.
He is definitely very aggressive. But you can't imagine he's the kind of person that does a lot of his own thinking. Like he
So, in other words,
follows what other people are saying.
In other words, he probably isn't one to know what arsenic would do.
Arsenic? He actually might know what arsenic does.
Yeah.
We have a belief that the accident that happened was not an accident, it was sabotage.
I can't imagine how it would be an accident. It had to be sabotage.
One other question. We believe whoever did this had easy access to the area. Do you know anyone who would have had the know-how of such things?
Plenty
Isn't
of
the
people
food
probably
locker
could.
locked?
Yeah, it's anyone could have gone in there. Well, they used to be able to. I'm sure it's going to be locked up now. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out how to destroy a bunch of food. It's whoever the saboteur is that you're looking for. It's a world-class idiot.
World-class idiot. How do you treat your mess boys?
I treat them fine. I make them.
Sick.
They get good. They get good meals. You know. They sleep. I pay them a respectable wage. Philip's only been with me a year or two. You know, he's just a kid. Henning, just joined up right before, and he's a little bit older, obviously, but still a nice guy, and always helps out.
Wait. Hold up. Adam Henning? He just joined a few days ago.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks before we left port. I'm guessing just before you guys got here.
Interesting.
Would the ship keep like personnel records on file?
I'm
Like,
sure.
I don't know if it.
But you'd have to go ask the captain or the first mate
Right,
about that.
they're going to be in the bridge, and if the captain's in on it, he's definitely not going to help our investigation.
Yeah, oddly suspicious that a guy just barely joins us and then all of a sudden something goes haywire.
Okay, but wait a second. Didn't a lot of the crew just barely join us simply because they were so desperate to get as many hands as they could? That's why they were paying them like $1 a day.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think the captain joined 2 days before you left port.
But there were a lot of other crew a lot of the other crew joined us
on.
right below.
I mean, and the ship itself, this is a new ship to everybody. Nobody's is with the Gabrielle. It's just they were all hired on. The best that they could hire on were hired on.
Still, the other part is he's a grown man. Why would he take a job as a mess boy?
Listen, I don't want to get all political, but have you seen the way that less fortunate have had it the past few years? I mean, when the stock market crashed, a lot of people lost a lot of money.
I'm aware of that.
People can take jobs wherever they get them.
I'm aware of that. In fact, I have even put myself into danger itself for this expedition. I single-handedly salvaged the fuel from the fire.
That's appreciated then. Considering I know that them fuel drums are kept not too far from this kitchen, if something happened to them, this kitchen had been destroyed. I'm wondering how that happened.
I think I have a lead. I'm gonna go investigate things further, but I will tell you this, you are definitely not who we're looking for, so consider yourself not a suspect.
Mr. Abrams, if I might interject, sorry. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Mr. Abrams, if I might interject for a moment, what is the ship going to do with all of our fresh food no longer available? What's your menu preparations?
Mostly pemmican, I imagine.
Yeah, we're gonna do mostly pemmican. I'm gonna do my best with it, but anything that was destroyed is going to be thrown off. Is either already being thrown off or it's going to be thrown off the side of the ship.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Abrams. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay.
Henning does seem to be a person of interest.
And he he says, if you have any other problems, he's not available.
All right.
Have you noticed, Derek, that our suspect list keeps growing bigger and bigger, not smaller and smaller?
Yeah, it's
coming to the point where everybody's going to be a suspect.
I think at this point it's fluctuating. Anyway, let's go talk with Adam Henning. See what we can learn.
All right. You find Adam. He's on the deck. He's smoking. Norman recognized him because you met him. He was doing inventory in the holds before you guys left port.
Also interesting.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Busy
We
day,
just
hasn't it
want.
been?
It has been an eventful day. We just wanted to check up on the crew and see how everyone's handling the current situation.
And say it's a lot too good to look forward to. This trip, I don't know. I mean, there's that fire back in New York. Now this. I mean, what's really going on here? I mean, and we're still going to Australia. I mean, we haven't turned around. I would think, we're not that far away from Panama. We just go back, resupply, and then head out. Yeah, we lose a couple days, but we'd be able to go right back on our trip where we're going.
Extreme success psychology.
Wow.
Yeah, he is definitely amazed and surprised that the ship has not turned around.
Alva also got an extreme success.
He was almost, I would almost say he's like a little, almost shocked that.
Almost as if he was expecting it.
But everybody's been expecting that they should have turned around.
I guess there's only one choice left. I have to pry into his brain.
Okay. Yeah, he failed his role. So what are you trying to get from him?
I'm trying to see what his recollection of the events of the sabotage days were.
Okay, you can go into his mind and you can, I guess you're trying to see his memories. That basically the gist of what you're getting at. Okay, you see he has gone into a lot of the holds earlier in the morning. You see he went into the engine room, he went into the food storage, he went into the hold where the planes are. And you can definitely tell that he doesn't really do a lot of work. He pretends to work.
But he's what, the first mate?
No, he's a mess boy.
He's a mess boy.
Oh. He doesn't really have to work. You can just walk around and what I'm saying is the mess boys, when you look at the steward staff, it's large enough that you can probably slack off pretty easily.
Yep.
There's just not a lot to do on ship, given yes, they cook all day.
But it's also the fact that had easy access to all the other areas of the ship, and he doesn't do that much work.
Okay. So he's lazy, that makes him the saboteur?
It's also his reaction. He almost seemed to be hoping that we'd turn back.
Well, I mean, did you ask him why he signed on for the ship?
Alright, let's try that. Why did you sign on for the ship?
Oh, well, I was in the Navy near the tail end of the war. And I kind of liked the feel of being, on the sea, but never really had a lot of opportunities. Then my family farm went under. And sort of getting whatever jobs I could get. I mean, I've been, I'm a mess boy right now, but before this, I would help or get, horses. I was kind of, I can't even say I was a mechanic on some of these cars. I just sort of helped mechanics. Whatever jobs I could get. Right now, my wife is got a job cleaning people's houses. See, he's sort of like looking away as he's talking about it.
Damn it.
I'll try. Yay.
Yeah, everything he said was true. You
So,
have no reason to think he's lying about it.
yeah, so he's lazy. He's basically lazy, and he wanted to turn back because he's in this for the money. He's not in it for the adventure, and he's not really interested in the danger or anything like that. He just wants literally the easiest buck he can make.
Right.
Doesn't make him a saboteur. Although I would say that his military background probably would give him a little bit more of a advantage in how to sabotage the cold storage over the other mess
You
boys who
have
seem
military
stupid.
experience, and yet you're working as a mess boy. I mean, you could be capable of so much more.
But does the so much
Dude,
more pay more?
That's what I said. But
Oh,
no, I mean the government was paying me good. I mean, while I was necessary. But you drink a little too much and you punch somebody in the face,
yeah.
and finally the government has an issue with you.
I can understand that sort of.
You can understand. You don't look old enough to drink.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
it's
look
more
at the last time
of.
you could drink in this country legally. You were what?
It's not that
10?
I drink. It's more how to say. I have a certain way of knowing a person's intentions. It's a bit of a knack I have.
Yeah, well, my intentions is to collect my pay and not have to worry about anything. I mean, look, yeah, I'm gonna stay on the Gabrielle when you are all lot around the Antarctic. I'm just gonna collect my $1 a day. Do you know how much that's gonna add up?
Yeah.
A lot, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we were to follow Starkweather's plan, right there, I'm looking at making $30-$40. Doing nothing except the bare minimum.
Well, way more than that. I mean, this is basically a 3-month I mean, he's gonna make like $100.
I'm just talking about while we're sitting there waiting while you guys are off on your adventure. Month and a half out there? I don't know. I mean,
he reaches into his pocket and he gives $3 silver to Henning. And he says, as someone who appreciates your effort in the war, I feel like you're due some recognition for that.
well, thank you.
Times are tough, I understand that. That's why I put myself in dangerous positions.
Oh, definitely.
You know how to say you can never really understand a man's struggles unless you experience them yourself.
Yeah. Well, I've struggled, that's for sure. So, anything else I can help you with? I mean, spend most of the day out here until I have to go. Until it's my turn to go back down into that place. And
I will confess that we are investigating the matters because we believe there might be a saboteur.
Really? Saboteur? Here?
Yes. We believe that what was used on the pipes was arsenic.
Wow. Hey, you don't think it's them Germans, do you?
You know something about the Germans?
Well, look it. We just got out of war with them. There's that guy in Germany right now who's all firing up.
You know, that's actually funny because initially one of the first saboteurs were a pair of Germans, but they escaped.
Really? Huh. Oh, that's... Yeah, let me know. I mean, 'cause I had enough dealing with Germans back in the war to make me want to punch a few Germans in the face if I can have a chance.
I also practice in German language myself, but mainly I use that for how to say interrogation methods.
But you're not German, are you?
No, full-blooded American.
No, the cook is German. That guy
I
drives me.
actually looked into the cook, and between you and I, he's not exactly the brightest sort of guy to think of something like saboteur.
Oh, that I can agree with you on. But like, so many people on this boat are German or German, like the area. You know, they're Polish or they're French. Got a
Norman
couple
pulls out the list again. He pulls out the crew register and he says, what about Darren Horst?
Ah, nice enough guy, but he kind of gives everyone the cold shoulder, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know about that. He's one of our suspects.
Huh. All right.
And then there's Gregory Houlihan.
Now that guy, he might seem a little out there, but if you talk to him about baseball, he does not shut up.
Okay,
He will go on and on and on about baseball.
That kind of confirms things. Alright. I guess that top suspect at the moment is Darren Horst. Where does Darren Horst stay?
Well, he's got a bunk with everybody else.
Yeah, I imagine everybody sleeps in general crew quarters.
Yeah, there's everyone aside from the most ranked officials have a share general. We take turns sleeping. I mean, I'm sure he has the same
Yeah,
bunk
they
as
probably
everybody else.
hot bunk or hot cot.
Hmm. I'm gonna.
Maybe instead of questioning people, maybe we should go down to the crew quarters and start looking for actual evidence, like looking for the acid that you would need to actually sabotage.
Oh, we found
Look
the
for evidence.
acid. But yeah, let's go check the crew quarters.
I mean, something like lock picks or a skeleton key, something that we can actually take to the first mate because we suspect the captain and say, look, we found this on so and so's.
All right, let's go check crew quarters.
All right.
Spot hidden checks.
So you get down there. You can start walking around.
Hey, good job. Where is spot hidden?
A quick look around doesn't
success.
reveal anything even possibly damning. A little bit deeper into it, you notice that there's a loose floorboard in a couple of the cots.
Ooh.
It looks like it's pressed down, but if you can get your fingers in there, you'd be able to pull it up.
I'm gonna try and pull it up.
All right. Make a sleight of hand roll.
Damn, I'm not good sleight of hand.
If you show me, I could try.
I show you, definitely.
Okay. Sleight of hand. I have a slightly bit. No, no way.
Wow.
It's just too nailed down.
Wait, what am I saying? I got crowbar.
Oh, well then.
Well, you can certainly
all I need is the crowbar and some strength.
Yeah. Make a strength roll with advantage.
There you go. With a bonus die. Not better, but 10. That will work.
Technically, it still would have succeeded, but 10 is really good. Yeah, the board just lifts up almost without taking any effort. Pops up without there are a few nails in there, but they didn't even offer any kind of resistance. And
all right, what's down there?
That's a small little wooden box underneath the floorboards. Very small. Probably
I pick up the box and try to see what's inside.
Yeah.
Inside the box, there is a small vial, a small half-empty vial of some sort of powder, and fuses. Norman, you have
explosives.
Skill points and explosives. You would recognize these are dynamite blasting caps.
Oh.
Dynamite blasting caps.
Yeah. There's only a couple of them, but they're there. And there's a piece of torn paper.
I'm gonna read what the paper says.
All right. The paper does not give you a name of who it's addressed to, but it's clearly a letter that says, "Whatever happens, do not let them get past Australia." And you can't.
Okay.
You don't know who signed it.
So you said there's a vial. Is it like a big vial, like a bottle, or is it like a test tube?
No, it's a small. It's like a test tube. But whatever was in it, there's a white powder in it. But
a powder.
just a quick examination, there was more of this powder in there.
Is there enough of a residue to give it like an odor that we could maybe tell what it was? Because I'm guessing it was arsenic.
Gotta check. This is actually a question.
I'm gonna put the floorboard back, but take the box with us.
No. Put the box back, because otherwise the person will know that someone's onto them.
All right,
It
I'll put.
doesn't. There is no smell.
Okay. Do you have your camera on you?
No camera. I don't use a camera.
I thought I gave you a camera and you brought it on the ship.
No, I gave it back to you.
Why would you give it back to him? Okay.
I
So I
mean,
was gonna say we could.
That's how I found out your identity.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I didn't bring the camera with me because I was gonna say that we could take a picture of it if we needed it for evidence later. Yeah,
You
but
can
we should.
try to identify it.
Okay.
with
What would it be?
either a pharmacy or hard medicine roll.
Oh,
Pharmacy or
I don't have that.
medicine.
That's like one of those rare skills that you have to. In medicine, I have a 1 in medicine.
Well, you can.
Okay. I failed.
Yeah, you failed.
Although I could spend 14 points of luck and get a 1,
Mm-hmm.
which would be a success.
If you're willing to do that, I will tell you what it is.
Okay, I'll spend the 14 points of luck. We get luck pretty
Okay.
well.
It is strychnine.
Strychnine. That's not good.
The vial would have held about 6 about 6 grams or so of strychnine originally. That amount seems like it's maybe half of what was used. It's missing.
Okay. So I'm thinking this is how they poisoned. Whoever did this used this to poison the last captain to replace with this captain.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not enough to poison the whole crew. It's barely enough to poison, as he said, 6 people. So
Anyway, we're gonna have to bring this evidence forward to the captain, or actually, can we even trust the captain at this point?
yeah, I think we're looking at like the first mate or one of the Starkweathers. One of the owners.
But the question is, who sleeps in this area?
This is the general crew quarter, so basically there's a bunch of cots in here and houses like 20 people.
I think so. Yeah, it's like 25 people.
Yeah.
So
I think just to be careful, we should look around to see if there's any laid about charges anywhere on the ship.
Okay. Well, so the box contains an empty vial that contains strychnine, a letter not to go past Australia, and a couple blasting caps.
Yep.
So we put the box back, and the next place to go would be where they keep the explosives. Because remember they said that there was something wrong with some of the dynamite?
Mm-hmm. We're
So,
gonna have to see how much dynamite might have been taken.
right. It's kind of weird though that they would give them blasting caps but no explosives. Why give them, if you're going to make your saboteur take the explosives, steal explosives from the ship, you might as well just steal the blasting caps too. Unless are they kept in different places because of security or whatnot?
Yeah, probably
Michael?
there might be hidey holes everywhere. We're gonna have to check each area individually.
Michael,
yes.
do they keep the explosives? Do they keep the blasting caps with the dynamite, or do they keep them in separate places?
How we can together.
Okay, so that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Anyway,
Unless unless there was explosives, does it look like the box was big enough that it could have held something else? Because blasting caps aren't that big, and a vial isn't that big. Is it possible there could have been like a small block of like Simtex or composite B or something?
All right.
Maybe it would you have to something would have to have been stuffed in there. It's not that big of a box.
Okay.
Let's see.
So if
Let's
you're gonna-
look at how much dynamite might have been taken, and then see if we can find any like, set charges anywhere on the ship.
I'm kind of
Probably-
confused. So in this time period, what kind of detonators did we have? Did they have like radio detonators? Or basically did they have fuses and like?
Most of it was fuses. Radio detonators aren't very common yet. They would be extremely rare and extremely expensive.
Okay. So then this would have had to be like, because they're using blasting caps, not a fuse. So this would have had to be like some kind of mechanical detonator, like the old
It's sort of
plunger
a
type
set. It's
detonator.
sort of like a set it, put away, and walk away from it, and then it will go off.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, Norman's right. Derek's right. We need to go find out how much explosives were taken. Are we dealing with one bomb or a couple of small bombs?
All right, let's go check the dynamite area and do.
Spot hidden.
They
Yay.
flunked.
One has.
Did not.
Alva for the win.
We seem to, we've got really good characters that seem to complement each other very well. The things you fail, I succeed at. The things I fail at, you succeed at.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
All right, so looking around to where you had found the missing dynamite and the blasting caps before, those have all been replaced. So there's plenty of dynamite and there's plenty of blasting caps, all steel and still in sealed boxes.
Just to be safe, let's check the main areas where someone would sabotage with a bomb. Let's check the engine room.
Okay, hold on. There's all right. You looking around, you don't find any signs of explosives in the engine room.
Nothing else?
Well, there's plenty of stuff on the ship. You tell me where you want to go, and I'll tell you what you need to.
Alright, let's
roll.
look at the ship map, if there's a ship map.
I don't remember. Did I give you a ship map?
I don't think
You did at one time.
I don't think there's a map included because I gave you the basics of the ship. I don't think there's a map. Yeah, there's no map.
But we know but don't we know the
Yeah, you would know the general.
we know the layout of the ship.
Alva, you were hiding on the ship for a while.
Yeah.
Norman, you were bringing stuff in by hand into a bunch of the holds. So I mean, you're at least familiar with it. So
Maybe
Okay.
we should try going back to name. Darren Horst.
all right. You find Darren. He's actually going through, walking between a couple of the holds. Maybe
I'm
he's
gonna
giving them.
try.
Looks like he's
I'm
just
gonna
giving them brief lookovers.
gonna try and keep myself hidden and follow him.
Okay.
I'll try to as well.
Damn.
Not stealthy.
Do I dare push it? I'm gonna push in, risk tripping.
Oops.
Fuck!
Oh wow. Yeah,
Wow, you fumbled.
you make a lot of noise to the point where you were following him into one of the holds that has one of the airplanes in it, and you just knock over a barrel of gasoline.
I'm gonna try and lift it back up to keep it from spilling.
All right. As you try to lift it up, as Horst wheels on you and starts walking in your direction, you notice a small cloth parcel hidden, tucked in where all the barrels are.
What? He looks at the parcel and sees what it is.
When you open it up, it is a coil of a quick burning fuse attached to roughly a dozen sticks of dynamite.
Oh.
Well,
Huh.
I found out where the attack was going to be planned next.
Where is it at?
And
This
it happened to
is-
be where Darren Horst was, too.
This is hold number 2.
Hold on. That's in the center of the ship, right?
Pretty much, yes.
So that pretty much would have. Wow, that would probably break the ship in half.
I am going to
Yes.
pocket the dynamite and look at Horst and say, odd that I would find a charged fuse right inside of the area where all the fuel is being kept, and you just happen to be here.
What are you talking about? Do you show it to him, or are you just like hiding it?
I show him the dynamite. Psychology check. Can I make that advantage?
With a bonus die.
Yes, since if you're trying to gauge his reaction to the explosive.
Oh boy.
Good job.
So he is genuinely surprised to see it. He starts going, "What is that?"
I think you know exactly what it is, Darren Horst.
Are you planting a bomb in here?
Oh.
Oh, bold of you to say that. I think I know who the saboteur is, and I think it's you.
I don't really. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Would my extreme be able to know that if he's lying?
About being the saboteur.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, with the psychology roll, you don't get the impression that he's trying to be deceptive in any way. Like, he's genuinely surprised.
We looked inside of the cabin hold and we found a couple of blasting caps and what we believe was used to be poison against the first captain.
I'm sorry, you guys, you were making no sense to me whatsoever. and I see you trying to sneak into this hold, and I find you by the gasoline with an explosive in your hand. What am I supposed to think? I think you're trying to kill us all.
Hypnosis check, then. I'm gonna make that a hard success. You would need to spend about, let's see, 8 luck?
You can't buy a higher degree of success.
Oh, I can't?
No.
Well, it's win it for the biscuit.
So he also succeeded on his roll and his power roll to resist you.
Guess I'm gonna have to push it. Damn it.
Almost exactly the same too. But you try.
Got a
Look,
very
he's a
strong
pro,
will.
but he is still able to resist.
We've been investigating this whole thing. We have been investigating it since the beginning, since the fires have started, where I had to salvage the fuel myself.
Clever ploy. Just let the captain know what's going on here.
Yeah, I will let the captain know what's going on here.
He turns, he starts quick walking to the door.
Yeah,
We need to stop him. Because if he reports this to the captain and the captain is in on it, he's going to believe him and lock us up.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop him.
Okay. How are you going to stop him?
Alright, so hypnosis isn't gonna help. We're gonna have to try and knock him out.
Okay.
You wanna try flanking him so I get a bonus die to brawl?
Sure. I'll do that. I don't know if you get a bonus die to brawl, but yeah, I'll move around to flank him. Look, don't make this tough on you, hard on you.
He tries to push past Alva. Out of my way, little girl, he says.
Oh, he knows I'm a female. That's interesting. Okay.
Can I spend 10 luck to make that a success?
Can't spend luck on combat rolls.
Can I spend luck in combat?
I'm looking. Okay. I'm going to try my psychic attack.
Okay.
To knock him out. So my pal versus his pal. It didn't roll the die. Why didn't it roll the die? Here we go.
Yes!
Wow.
Yes!
Yeah, he got just a regular success on his defense.
Okay.
So,
I'll roll 1d10. And that's how many magic points he loses. When he hits 0 magic points, he falls unconscious.
Yes.
So, where's the general die roll? D10. 1.
Okay.
Okay,
So
your turn, Norman.
Stumbles back a little bit, but okay.
Yay!
He's not like physically defending himself.
Anyway, let's combat. That is gonna be a D8 plus E4.
Okay, so you punch him in his upper back, and he just sort of like coughs and stumbles, and now he's looking a little bit frantic at the fact that you guys are mentally attacking him and physically attacking him, and he starts to quickly try to make his escape to the door.
Would that
Okay.
provoke an attack?
I will try my psychic attack again on my turn.
You guys will both get one more turn before he makes it out the door.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, here. Maybe I'll try this.
Pray for extreme success, or at least a hard.
No, it just gives me a stat block. Okay, here we go.
Yeah!
6 points of magic damage. So 6 MP.
That he rolled a 15 out of 60. How much is that?
That would be a hard success, because extreme is a 5th.
Yeah, so 6 more points of you see he's sweating nervously, like, and he's swaying a little bit, like he's really exhausted.
Okay. And I will move to block his exit.
Okay.
Or actually, could I try hypnotizing him?
Yeah, I'll let you try to hypnotize him.
His will should be a lot weaker now.
Whew. Yeah, you definitely got control of him. You can feel his mind just sort of give way to you.
Yay.
There we are. Alright, what do you know?
I know that you look like you're trying to blow up this ship.
What do you know about the sabotages that have been going on here?
You've been bad for the crew. You should have turned back. The whole thing was a mistake.
I'm gonna like put the dynamite away. And I'm gonna say it was a mistake. What do you know about the box that's inside of the crew quarters?
I don't go down there all that often. I have a reason to. You share us quartermasters, we have separate space for us.
Upper space. Okay. When I snap my fingers, you'll forget everything that happened within the last 30 minutes.
Man, I feel so tired. Man, I gotta. Captain wanted me to search these holes, make sure everything was fine. Oh, hey, do you guys mind looking around? Just like, I don't know if I can even manage this anymore. I feel I can do a lay down. I'm exhausted.
I'm going to hit him one more time with the psychic attack to knock him out all the way.
Okay.
That way he'll be... he will be out of it.
Yeah, he's definitely, you definitely overpowered him.
Another 1.8.
He had 9 POW.
Oh, so he's got 1 left.
He's got 1 left. He's just barely holding on to consciousness at this moment.
Come on, sir. Let's help you get to bed, alright?
Yeah, let's just hit you again.
What is wrong with you, Alva? What's wrong with you?
4. Now he's unconscious.
He falls and hits his head as he slumps down to the ground. He hits his head on the porthole, the door, and he's out.
Yay.
You see a little stream of blood trickling off the side of his head.
Perfect.
Wait, did you kill him?
All right, I'll
he's-
check his
he's-
pulse.
He's still breathing.
Yeah, he didn't take that much damage from hitting his head, and psychic attack only does damage to magic points,
All right, I'm gonna.
which is perfect because it'll make it look like he stumbled, hit his head, and knocked himself unconscious. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
we're gonna help him get to the doctor to get, treated for his injuries.
Why don't we just leave him here? You said he forgot everything for the last half hour, and then he fell unconscious. So he's just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
wake up. So he's just gonna wake up and not know anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, we found the device, so we at least got that taken care of. We're not letting that get out of hand.
Right, but now we know. So now we know he's the saboteur. So here's my plan, or my idea. Instead of turning him in,
No, wait. Did he confess he was the saboteur?
He did
no,
not.
but we found. No, but we know he is.
I had him in my mind control, and it sounded like he knew nothing about it.
Oh, out of character, above the, below the table, he could have been manipulated by someone else to set the charge.
That could also be true.
And that other mess boy was in the military, and he would know how to figure out rudimentary explosives. Not this little kid. I mean, where's he going to get a book on, improvised explosives for dummies? Didn't exist back then,
And that leaves the captain too.
Well, one of you guys can roll demolitions.
Can roll what?
Norman, you can roll demolitions.
Does Norman have demolition? Oh, hey, I don't have demolition, so good job, Norman.
This is a crude explosive, not made by someone who has no idea what they're doing.
So whoever made this has no
It's
idea
basically
what
like they took a handful of sticks of dynamite, the little fuse, just wrapped all of it together with like shoestring and shoved it in a little towel and hidden them stuffed between the barrels.
Well, this is just shoddy work. It would have been a crude explosion at best. So obviously whoever the saboteur is knows nothing about demolitions.
Okay.
So I think that exonerates the militant.
Although we're assuming that he would have gotten some demolitions training in the military. If he was just if he was a constant if he was just infantry, he might not know anything about demolitions.
Let's go ask him about what we know about it. I like the cut of his jib, so at least, he seems to be a little bit of a confidant.
All right. You find him. He's not on the deck anymore. He's back into where the mess is, and he's helping Philip with some of the plates. Hey, how you doing?
I think we can talk in private for a moment.
Yeah, sure. He goes out into the hallway, the stairs that lead down to the holds. The smell is just.
We made a very big discovery.
Oh, really?
I pull out the shoddy work of demolitions dynamite that we found in the fuel cargo hold.
Whoa. What is that?
It's obviously a saboteur device, or what I believe was going to be the insurance policy. I don't know who made it, but what I do know is, you see how this wire is bundled? It is shoddy work at best. So obviously the saboteur knows nothing about dynamite.
Oh, who's the saboteur? I mean,
We
I'll tell you everything
initially
you need to know.
suspected it was going to be one of the quartermasters, but now we're leading up a dead end.
Oh,
On another thing, we also discovered blasting caps and what was used to poison the captain. The first one before the second one was hired.
really?
Psychology
Where was
check.
that? What are you trying to get from him?
I'm trying to see if he seems like he knows a little bit too much.
No, he's looking at what you're saying. Like he's listening to what you're saying. He's looking at the explosives, and like kind of shock, you'd almost say.
It's down in the crew quarters in a loose plank. If it weren't for the crowbar, I wouldn't have managed to pry it open.
Oh, whoa. That's do you know whose bunk it was? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a quartermaster really down there.
I'm thinking you might be able to help in this investigation. Mind following us to the crew quarters? I'll vouch for your compensation with the chef personally.
Oh, don't worry. He went to take care of some international freedom, from a flask.
International Freedom Flask. Yeah, that sounds typical American right there.
Yeah, so he's not around at the moment. But
Anyway,
yeah.
we lead him down to where the thing is.
That's really strange.
Do you know whose bunk is here?
Oh, there are 4 bunks right around here. I mean, I sleep in this one up here, but that's a couple. I'm only down here a few hours a day.
I guess all we can really do is wait around and then see who comes up here
Me and
first.
Philip share that one cot. Don't know one got an engineer over here, one of the engine guys over here, or a couple of them.
All right.
Some seamen, but
Real crew register.
I think there's even 1 or 2 of your expedition men are in one of these bunks.
Expedition men. Well, I guess the only real answer is we'll know who the culprit is when he emerges to the bunk.
Yeah, I mean, hey, well then, good luck, I guess.
Can I make a psychology check? Does it look like he's being evasive?
Well,
I'm getting the sense this is all performative.
Like, it does sound performative as hell. It does.
I failed.
Well, you failed your roll.
And you succeeded on yours, so I assume you would have gotten anything out of him.
Anyway. Damn it, where's my sheet?
Yay, good job. It just seems like he's faking it, like he's feigning surprise.
Do we get anything?
No, sort of like, back to what you had said. You told him, but he doesn't know anything beyond that.
Guess I'm gonna have to wait. Anyway, I'm gonna take some time to hide, and I ask him to not tell anyone about this.
Oh.
At least until we find the culprit.
No worries. No, don't worry about me. I got work to do, so back up there to see how Philip needs any help. And he walks back up to the stairs.
Anyway. Stealth.
You can make stealth rolls if you want to hide.
Yes.
Why is the dice not working for me when it comes to stealthing?
It was helping you before.
Hey, in this case, you're gonna be the best person. I guess I'm just gonna hang around in the bunk a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have to wait long before somebody comes to sit in one of the bunks near where the plank of wood was.
Who is it?
You see.
I mean, why are we stealthing? We're basically in the crew quarters. We're a crew.
Alva, you see your uncle pop into the bunk right next to where the plank of wood was.
My uncle.
Oh, snap!
Doesn't he have like a cabin of his own?
No, he is not.
No.
A
Oh.
bunch of the expedition people are in there, including your uncle.
What's
And he's talking to another expedition man, Dr. Peter Sykes.
So the doctor bunks in here too.
Dr. Peter Sykes.
He was the one who was doing all of the cold weather fitting. I don't know if he's actually considered it. He's not listed as a doctor.
No. Ship's physician is Ray Lansing.
Well, no, because there's expedition staff I'm looking at too.
It seems we meet again.
Oh. I thought I saw you over there, Norman. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. A quick question I have.
Yeah, of course.
I just take out the crowbar and then pull out the plank showing the box. Do you know anything about that?
What is that?
Blasting caps.
Why are there blasting caps down here underneath the deck?
That's what I am currently asking the two of you about.
Dr. Sykes looks over and like, are those blasting caps?
Yes. It seems there's a saboteur on the ship.
They two look at each other. What made you say that? I mean, the food? Is that what's making you think there's a saboteur?
Yeah. The pipes, what melted them was arsenic.
Sykes sits up for it. Arsenic.
Found a bottle in an empty room and brought it to the captain.
Oh. Arsenic. Nels is sort of just looking at Dr. Sykes and then looks back at you.
I am gonna do psychology. Norman psychology for the win. Uh,
You could spend luck.
You could.
I could.
We get a lot of luck in this game.
I just feel like luck's gonna be a very useful thing late game.
Right, but we're still a long way from Melbourne. We still have to get into the port at Melbourne.
Alright.
We're not even to the Arctic yet.
Yeah, I have a list of things that's going to happen before you even get to Melbourne.
I spent the luck to make it a success.
Okay. They are both surprised, but Dr. Sykes seems a little bit more nervous and a little bit unsure.
Dr. Sykes, what would you know about this?
I don't know anything about that, he says.
Would psychology tell he's lying? Or do I need to roll again?
You would have to roll again, specific conversations.
Alright. Okay.
If it had been an extreme success, I would just let it carry over. It's just a regular success now.
Yay! Yay!
He is not lying.
Alright, so he's not a suspect.
He doesn't believe you.
We also found a detonation device in the fuel depot.
Which you want to point out that you think it was that mess boy.
Which we think it could be one of the mess boys.
Really?
Just seems odd, like he seems too calm about this whole thing.
The two look at each other. Mess boys. Which one, the little kid with the red head or the older guy? Looks like he's a little overweight.
Adam Henning, the older
Oh.
one.
The older guy.
I mean, he is a primary suspect only because of the fact he has military experience.
Oh no, believe me, he wouldn't shut up about it. I was doing his cold weather gear fitting. Oh, I already know all of this. I could tell you all my sizes, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't matter. I don't care what branch of the military you served in. You have never been to the Arctic. Nothing about your training was cold weather related. You don't know what you're doing. So,
Could be vengeance that he's after.
I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the worst part. I open the box and show the blasting caps and the little slip of note that says, make sure they never get past Australia.
Oh. That's a weird one.
So I think whoever the saboteur is working for the other team.
Huh. Oh. I mean, anything's possible, I suppose. I need you guys to make checks. What check is it gonna be?
Idea?
Listen.
Oh,
Listen. Yeah! Yeah!
for the win. Yeah!
You both hear shouting from one of the holds.
I am gonna go to one of the holds then and tell
Alright,
the others
you
to keep
hear-
down.
There's several crew members are by the last hold, and you can hear. Let's see, what do you hear? Because that's important. Da, 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 da. There are a couple of the dog trainers, Alva, that you might recognize at the door, and you just hear this loud barking. You hear barking, you hear whining, you hear wood breaking.
I'm gonna rush in there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Telling the others something's wrong with the dogs.
Oh. Yeah, they're sick, but what if they're rabid? Fiskerson is the one there that's yelling. The other man there is Pulaski.
Pulaski, huh?
I think they're both.
What's wrong with the dogs?
I don't know. Something's gone wrong with them. They're just they had their feeding, and then all of a sudden you got a couple that are just barking like crazy. They're fighting. They're breaking free of their bonds. Something's wrong. They're sick.
I'm gonna ask the dog leader or whatever her uncle's name is if I have permission to calm the dogs down.
Nils runs comes down the hall running and stands right behind Alva as he peering into the room.
Technically, Alva is hidden though.
Yeah, well, and he doesn't even look down at Alva. He's looking past and trying to see into the room.
Okay.
What are your orders? I ask her uncle.
Oh. He starts asking what happened and gets in the same answer. When you ask him if you can go calm the dogs down, he sort of just looks at you and says, "No, it's not safe for you."
I remember the fuel incident when the fire happened on the ship.
Yeah, I remember.
I salvaged the fuel.
That was good. I mean, it's quick thinking, but
I also found a saboteur that caused it.
if they're sick, if they have rabies, it doesn't matter. One bite and that's it for you. I don't know what kind of medical treatment we got here.
I'm aware of the risks, but I'm willing to help. That's all it is. I don't help because I gain anything from it. I help because I want to know what it's like to be in danger. I want to experience it because I feel I am indebted to the society that is worse off than I.
All right. Before he can answer, let's see who's got it. Fiskerson walks into the hold where the dogs are and pulls out a 45 revolver that he was carrying. He aims it at the dogs and starts shooting. You just hear the blasting of gunfire echoing through the hold.
God damn it.
Well, no dogs.
They're not. It's not all of them. It's just 2,
Oh.
and another injured one. The rest are okay.
Could I run
As
a
I can tell.
biology check on the dogs to see if they might have had rabies?
Yeah, of course. You do not think they had rabies?
They didn't have rabies.
Couldn't take that chance.
That's suspicious.
So they were freaking out, but they didn't have rabies. What else could have caused it?
If they'd been poisoned, like with strychnine, they would have just died.
No, couldn't have been the strychnine.
Yeah, that would have just killed them.
Let's think here.
Any
Can we
ideas?
make an idea roll to narrow down the suspect list?
You can if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's really hard. Really hard.
Okay, I can tell you certainly that you've talked to the saboteur.
Alright, we have talked to the
Well, we've talked to
saboteur.
almost everybody. But we've talked to almost everybody.
You didn't talk to everybody, but you did talk to the saboteur.
Okay.
Did talk to the saboteur.
And you haven't found the saboteur yet. So it's not. I can tell you certainly it was not the quartermaster that you left
So
unconscious.
it's not the quartermaster.
Yep. I'll give you that much.
So it's either Gregory Houlihan, Michael Oates, or it's the captain.
Or it's the boy, the mess boy.
Or it's Adam Henning. Let's go talk with Gregory.
Oh, he's actually there.
Why is
At the end of the
Gregory
hall.
here?
Because there was the same reason why we're here. There was a commotion.
I'm gonna walk over to Gregory. What brings you here?
Same thing as that. Shouting and dogs. Someone's got to. Someone should go get the doctor. Get a doctor. Somebody should go. Does anyone know where Dr. Sykes is?
I already checked the dogs over. They didn't have rabies.
Well, that's good to know, but you need to still know what happened.
Yes.
Oh.
There's another doctor. The ship has a doctor, Dr. Lansing.
Yeah, well, Lansing doesn't know much about
He's not a
people.
vet.
Yeah.
Hard psychology. See if he is being evasive.
Everybody's being evasive.
He's more focused on what's going on in the hold than anything else.
Alright, so maybe it's not him.
Okay. I think it's the kid. It's either the kid or it's my uncle.
I'm
One or the
gonna
other.
talk with her uncle and see what he knows about the dogs, if anything. He's the most experienced with the dogs.
Yeah.
It's shocking that he wouldn't let me calm him down.
Well, he doesn't know that you have some superpower.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he does. Hmm. Well, then that would be interesting.
I go to her uncle and I say, why wouldn't you let me try to calm him down?
Listen, we're a long way from Australia. And if there were something really wrong with them, we wouldn't be able to get treatment until we get there. And by then it'd been way too late.
Is there
Yeah,
any
as far as I
deception
can,
in...
as in my opinion, Australia should be the last stop anyway. We don't have any food. We've lost a couple dogs. 2 dead, 1 injured. Stop there. Your provision, head back home. That's what I say.
Alright.
He really doesn't want to do this trip, yet he's on it. That's odd.
I really don't want to try and hypnotize him, but
Why not? You hypnotize everybody else.
And I'll start playing favoritism now.
it's not time to play favorites. I guess I have no choice.
That's when he rolled a hard on his power resistance.
You can do it.
Oh, no, you can't read him.
Can't read him. Could I ask you about Alva?
He kind of turns a little bit. What do you want to know about Alva?
Well,
How do you know Alva?
it's not that I know her, it's just that you seem awfully particular about her. Is there something that...
How do you know about her?
Oh god,
I know that I drink. Did I tell you about her?
Yeah,
yes,
you
yes,
did. You did.
You
We were
did
drinking and you told me about her. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when we were
Huh.
talking earlier, you mentioned your niece was missing.
Oh. Did. He scratched his head. What do you want to know?
Oh, I was curious about, like, you talk about her frequently. It's like, is there anything special about her?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's my niece. I love her to death.
Would there be any reason why she would run away?
Run away? No.
Just make an assumption. I don't want to make accusations.
Assumptions? That's a pretty bold assumption.
It's how to say, I practice detective work.
Well, no, definitely. I don't know if she would run away. That makes no sense.
That I can agree on. But we still have the dealings of who the suspect could be. It's either Adam Henning or, worst, it could be the captain.
You think one of them are out for my niece? Somehow responsible? I mean...
No, I meant for the sabotage of the ship.
Oh, for the sabotage.
Sorry to get
Why?
mixed up. You can
Yeah,
imagine
you're.
with a
Yeah.
mind like mine, it's a million places at once.
Yeah, it's confusing what's going on right now. I guess so. I mean, both would have be able to access down here. I think it'd be reasonable. I don't know what could have happened though. What to the dogs? Unless this is totally unrelated, which it can be.
Was a dog whistle brought aboard the ship?
Yeah, anything that was necessary for the dog study.
That
Yes.
could have been what caused the barking, is a dog whistle.
Okay, but why? Like, yeah, he causes 2 of the dogs to go nutso, and then they get shot. But what does that do? I mean, if you're trying to sabotage the entire expedition, don't you need to basically kill all the dogs?
Yes.
If we didn't, if we weren't going to turn back when we lost our food, we're not going to turn back because a couple of dogs went nutso.
Okay. Anyway. Alright. This is difficult.
Look at Olav and Dr. Sex are coming. They'll figure out what's going on.
Alright, let's get their evaluation.
All right. Olav is like the head dog pilot, the sled driver, maybe. I don't know the terminology for what his title is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's there and oversees as Dr. Sykes goes in and starts the slow inspection process of the dead dogs. After about 20 minutes, half hour, he says that they were poisoned.
Oh,
It wasn't enough to kill them outright, but it was definitely enough to drive them insane and to the point of nearly killing each other.
Can
But
I
there was
ask a
poison involved.
question? Could it have possibly been strychnine?
Yeah, I suppose so. It's a low enough dose, but yeah. I mean, you dose enough, it would have been enough to kill the dog outright. But I mean, if you just do
I
maybe
think
half
we
a dose,
found. I believe we found the weapon of choice for the dogs then.
and didn't you were mentioning something about strychnine?
Yeah, we found strychnine hidden in the cabin quarters of the crew, with a couple of blasting caps and a notation saying, "Don't let them get past Australia.
Melbourne.
Don't let them get past Melbourne."
And Olaf says forward, like, well, we're gonna have to get more dogs when we're down in Melbourne. Hopefully, we
Yeah,
can find some.
yeah. Well, we also need to have the rest of the dog's food, checked. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why you've got a small amount of poison. Why poison just a few dogs when they know we can get more dogs in
Probably a
Melbourne?
distraction.
Slow us down some more. The dogs die. We have to resource new ones in Melbourne. That adds another day to our travels. But yet we find these explosives like on the ship in a place where if it would have blown, would have probably sunk the ship.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's 2 saboteurs. One with a job to destroy us at all, to destroy the ship, to finish off the expedition at all costs, including their own life, because I don't see how in the middle of the Pacific they make their escape aboard a life raft. I mean, they're just going to die of dehydration out there. But on the other hand, we've got another saboteur that's slowing us down by doing these little things that are like, that are adding like a day here, a day there,
You
making
think
us
that
miserable, like the food.
there's more than one saboteur?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that there's either that there's two I'm thinking there's two saboteurs, and one of them might be running the other one without them knowing it, but it's like one saboteur is just trying to slow us down, and the other one is like the backup in case they really need to finish us off. Because they would know that the place to blow up the ship would have been in the lake. Because, yeah, the boat would have sunk, it would have ruined the expedition, but at least the saboteur would have gotten off and lived. You blow up the ship in the middle of the Pacific, I got news for you, and this time you're dying. You're going to get into a life raft, and you're just going to, they didn't have like a lot of advanced search and rescue. And again, we're in the middle of the Pacific. You're just going to die of dehydration. And whoever planned it had to know if that's what they do, they're going down with the ship. So that's what I'm thinking, that there's two saboteurs, one who's there to slow us down, and one who's there to finish us off if nothing else happens. That's what I think. What do you think, Derek? What do you think?
I think it's gotta be Henning. It's gotta be Henning.
All right, but we also know the captain, we think, is in on it. So is the captain an active saboteur who's ready to blow up his own ship to go down with it, or is he giving the instructions to Henny and maybe the mess boy working on his behalf?
Well, I guess we're gonna have to investigate the captain's quarters then and see what we can find.
Okay.
Well, that you can do in the next session, because this one is over.